Who has two thumbs and finally got a new computer? This guy. So let's just address the elephant in the room straight out. Now, I've been really shit at making videos on this channel for the last couple of years, and there's a couple of reasons why. The first one is that, well, my iMac is like a decade old. And while vintage is really cool for guitars, it's less cool for a computer where every time you open Logic and try to put on a reverb plugin, everything just crashes. And speaking of Logic, I also haven't been able to update Logic in a couple of years, which kind of makes it tricky to do tutorials. It was also becoming more taxing even just trying to edit these videos. Even with keeping edits as minimal as possible, it was still just becoming a fight. So in April, I finally got a new computer. I was conflicted though for a while about whether I should get a Mac Studio and a cinema display or just get a MacBook Pro. And in the end, I decided to go with a MacBook Pro. So which MacBook Pro, you ask?
Which one, man? Which one?
Well, I went with the 16-inch, 14-core M4 Pro. It's got 48 gigs of RAM, and I upgraded to a 2TB internal SSD drive. Translation? This thing could mix 1,000 Atmos records simultaneously in its f***ing sleep. So yeah, holy shit snacks, this thing is a f***ing beast. So why did I opt for a laptop instead of another desktop? Well, I mean, cost for starters. It was about $1,000 cheaper for the MacBook Pro the way I spec'd it out versus getting a Mac Studio and a cinema display. And the other side was portability. It can get real boring having to come here and sit at the same desk all the damn time. It also made more sense for photography work. I wanted to have the ability to shoot tethered on the go and be able to sit in a Starbucks and edit photos if I really wanted to. Now, this isn't my first MacBook Pro. I actually had one back in 2008. Surprisingly, I still have it, and even more surprisingly, it still actually works. But being back on a laptop again, I kinda had to rethink hard drive usage. I didn't want to fill up the internal hard drive on this thing 5 minutes after getting it out of the box, so I purchased a 5-bay hard drive enclosure for mechanical drives. Keep files I'm working on or need with me on the internal SSD drive, and then everything else is offloaded or archived onto external hard drives. And then I also have a couple of portable SSD external drives that I keep sample libraries and such on. So now that I have a new Mac and I'm back up and running again, what are the plans for the channel? Well, I'm launching a photography channel on September 10th, so I need to split my time a little bit between the two. So for the time being, I'm going to be doing one video a month on this channel. I also want to put more focus on Atmos and surround sound, but without making videos feel like it's an Atmos or surround sound specific video. And I also just want to focus more on having fun, messing around with plugins, experimenting with different ideas and such. Because to be brutally honest, it can just get really boring doing tutorials over and over again. And lastly, in 2013, my buddy and I recorded a number of songs which would actually be perfect in Atmos. So I'd like to take those tracks, take them down to the studs, the bare bones, and then rework them in an Atmos format. So that might be more of a work on it this year and then put videos up about it next year, but that's the idea anyway. So there we go. So if you have any comments or questions or maybe video topics you want me to cover on here, just let me know in the comments down below. Other than that, I just want to thank everybody for watching. I've been Mr. Jeff, and I'll see you all in the next one. So take it easy. Bye.